Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name's GBay99, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today I want to talk to you all about Twitch TV and all the changes that have been happening to it recently, why they suck, and what you can do to show Twitch you disapprove. This video is going to be a little bit different from my normal videos, but I hope you're all able to still sit back, relax, and enjoy as always. My League of Legends daily commentaries will resume tomorrow. About a month ago, a rumor leaked that got everyone's attention from the gaming world to major news outlets. Google was supposedly about to expand their massive empire by buying out Twitch TV for $1 billion. This was only a rumor that news sites supposedly had gotten from an inside source, and after both Google and Twitch refused to comment, the sites and the gaming world just sort of went back to their normal business, waiting in anticipation to see what would happen next. About a week and a half ago now, the news surfaced again as the same inside source reported to news media outlets, this time saying that the deal was confirmed and had possibly already gone through. This prompted a little bit of a stronger response from the world. Major news sites reported the news, gaming communities shared their disdain, and even BBC did a short, although fairly poor, report on the news. There were both good and bad sides to all of this, the good being that with Google's massive amount of resources, maybe certain Twitch issues could be fixed, like the poor VOD system, the videos on demand, or maybe even the infamous Twitch lag that had previously forced Twitch to implement a global 40-second delay on all streams, killing viewer interaction. With this acquisition, though, by Google, perhaps some of these issues could be fixed. As much good as there was to hope for in the near future, the bad side to all of this outweighed it for most people. Google has had awful self-policing policies that have hurt YouTube content creators and YouTube viewers ever since Google purchased YouTube, and now many people were scared this could spread to Twitch. Google has even had a history of censoring YouTube live streams for copyright, such as when they censored the CitizenCon 2013 stream. Back when CitizenCon was occurring, celebrating the one-year anniversary of the upcoming Kickstarted game Star Citizen, one of the developers happened to have a birthday that landed on the day of the convention. Naturally, people began singing Happy Birthday to celebrate. However, the issue with this is the song Happy Birthday to You is technically under copyright and is owned by the Warner Music Company. Because of this, Google immediately took down the stream. There have been class action lawsuits recently that are currently working on putting the song Happy Birthday to You in public domain, but the scary thing here is how Google was able to immediately and quite mercilessly take down a stream due to the slightest possible copyright issue. Many people feared that a similar content ID system would be put in motion over on Twitch if this deal really had gone through, and unfortunately it seems to have already started. This system has begun muting all the audio to VODs that use copyrighted music, which sounds okay at first. It's just making sure Twitch obeys the law. However, it's having the same issues that the content ID system has over on YouTube, namely muting and punishing people who are following the law and have the rights to all the audio they are using. Former pro and TSM coach The Odd One has his stream VODs muted right now for copyright violation. The issue with that is he hasn't been playing any copyrighted music on his stream specifically to avoid this issue. However, the system picked up the in-game League of Legends music, flagged it, and muted his stream for playing music that he has and everyone else has explicit rights from Riot Games to use. This isn't the only instance of VODs being unfairly muted. The DreamHack VODs have muted audio despite DreamHack paying for and having authorization to use all the music that they play. Valve's The International 4, a Dota 2 tournament that plays nothing but the original Dota 2 compositions on Valve's own Twitch account, have been muted for playing Valve's own music. There are Counter-Strike Go tournaments that have audio muted in multiple areas, and a ton more individual streamers, everyone from SodaPoppin to Raynad, who all have muted VODs for playing music or audio that they have explicit rights to play. Things are starting to get quite ridiculous. Now, some have actually speculated that the Google buying Twitch deal hasn't happened yet, and some of these changes could be a result of that deal falling through. There's a notable journalist out there named Ron Amadio who's written a small article on this, suggesting that because Twitch is using this separate content flagging system named Audible Magic, which technically directly competes with Google's Content ID, along with a few other points, it's quite possible that this deal has fallen through and Twitch is just policing itself because it's getting too big to get away with all this. Since they won't have Google's resources, they need to come up with their own systems, and some of, there's all sorts of theories. Some are saying that Twitch needs to clean up its act before the acquisition happens. There's all sorts of people talking talking about all sorts of possibilities of what's really happening right now. But regardless of what's happened between Google and Twitch, these Twitch changes seem very bad for consumers, very bad for streamers, and still has all the problems that YouTube has already had with its content ID system. So what can we do to voice our disdain? Well, if you do hate these changes and you want to voice your opinion and show Twitch what you think of all this, the first and foremost thing you should do is stop watching Twitch. Many streamers are looking to sites like Azubu and Hitbox TV, possibly deciding to switch platforms. If there's still streamers though that you do want to watch on Twitch, be sure to cancel your subscriptions to them and cancel your Turbo accounts. If you want to support a streamer, the best way to do so is to donate directly. Twitch takes 50% of all subscriptions to streamers, but they don't take any portion of your donations. It sucks if you have to cancel a subscription because you really do want to support that streamer, but if you do want to show your disdain to Twitch, then you can cancel them, and you get to leave a little message saying why you're canceling your subscription, but you can still support your favorite streamers and content providers here by donating without supporting Twitch in the process. If you do cancel a subscription, be sure to use that little box that pops up though to tell them that these new changes and the direction the site seems to be heading is the reason you're canceling your subscription. If they really have to implement a system like this for copyright purposes, then that's fine, but this system is so flawed and we do not want it spreading to the rest of the site. Get a better system if you really have to, self-police yourselves to a point where you make sure that everyone's following the law, but don't punish people who are innocent. But finally, on the off chance that this video gets spread to some sort of employee of Google or Twitch or someone who wants to justify these actions and these decisions, I'd like to speak frankly to them for a second. Please keep in mind, we don't hate these changes because they follow the law. Copyright law is very flawed and outdated in today's world, but we can still respect you if you want to implement systems that make sure that you follow it and fall in line. The reason we actively dislike these changes is because of how these systems, along with others, treat us. It feels like we lose our individual rights. We're guilty until proven innocent. Your viewers and streamers are what power your sites, and you, along with so many other companies, praise us for it, saying that we're the backbone of the industry, but changes like these do an awful job of showing it. It's one thing to try and get rid of copyright violations, but overreaching in such a way that you hurt every streamer, from individuals who just play games and the in-game audio, to major corporations like Valve, who are all adhering to your rules. Everyone here who's adhering to your rules and the law, when you punish people like that, that's when we start to get upset. I can only pray this doesn't spread anywhere outside the videos on demand, and I can only pray that they get a better system for the videos on demand. Thank you all very much for watching though. Good luck in solo queue, and have a wonderful day.